looks like it's another day to prove that where there's smoke, there's definitely fire. See, y'all have been saying for years now that Zaya probably privately feels like she was forced to transition and that she's being used as the ultimate shield for the family brand, and that she didn't actually choose this hyper-public runway life she was thrust into by Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union.
I think I'm lucky to have Zaya as my bonus daughter. You know, I did not birth her, but I've never felt more connected to anyone, and I've never felt more of a purpose as one of the adults in her village that is standing 10 toes down, sometimes behind her, sometimes beside her, and sometimes in front of her leading. But no, I'm honored to love her.
Well, allegedly, insiders are now confirming what y'all have suspected for years, which is that the household isn't just a happy, supportive family unit, but a highly oiled, hyper-strategic Hollywood PR machine, and that Zaya, allegedly, can't take it anymore. Okay, here's the thing, guys. When Zaya first came out to Dwayne and Gabrielle at the age of 12, Gabrielle said that she didn't know what to do, and she even admitted that she immediately started sliding into the DMs of the cast of the show Pose, reaching out to psychologists and calling up every resource she could find just to educate herself on how to handle the situation properly. But what if I told y'all that everything the Wade Union family did with regards to Zaya and all these speeches, activism, and projects were meticulously calculated for maximum PR? And boy, they have been doing the most with all those speeches about how supportive they are of the community.
Black trans people are being targeted, terrorized, and hunted in this country. Every day, everywhere. And there's rarely a whisper about it. We honestly don't approach this work as activists or leaders as much as we do this as parents. Parents who love our children and will do whatever the hell we can to keep them seen and secure and safe.
Basically, people are saying that by positioning themselves as the ultimate modern progressive family, they've essentially built a shield around their careers and they are profiting from it. And word on the street is that Zaya herself is quietly dropping hints that she's tired of it all. Apparently, people are saying that when you look at her old interview clips and social media captions, you will notice that underneath all that high fashion lifestyle, there's a cry for help. The allegation going around is that Zaya is feeling the crushing weight of being the face of the family's progressive brand, and that she's privately exhausted from having her entire life and identity packaged into neat little corporate partnerships. I mean, it's possible that this is the situation behind closed doors, especially if we consider things like how Zaya's birth mother already said and filed a lawsuit saying that Dwayne and Gabrielle were pressuring Zaya to move forward with the name and gender change in order to profit from business opportunities that Zaya was offered. She even said that if they were genuine, they would wait until she was 18 to decide if she wanted to legally change her name, let alone the gender. This is actually part of what was in the petition. He informed me that a lot of money had been already made and that additional money will be made in relation to our child's name and gender issue. Wade told me that he intended to make our child very famous due to the name and gender issue, and also informed me that there would be endorsements/contracts associated therewith. See, Zaya's birth mother also said that given Dwayne's high-profile status as a professional athlete, their kids' lives have been highly publicized, and that Dwayne had appeared on national television shows and in media reports regarding Zaya's name and gender change. She said that she was only concerned that Zaya was being commercialized at a young age, and she was also scared of the uncontrollable consequences of media exposure like trolling, statements, and/or pictures taken out of context of their kid, an unwanted spotlight focused on Zaya. Let's just say that a lot of people agreed with her and voiced the same concern.
Doing the real mom who wants her children to have a fair chance at making their own decisions, while you and your I want to be a husband convince your child that they need to get the whole trans thing going on now so they can get a Disney contract. And we all know what Disney does to children. Imagine what they do to trans kids.
Look, just so we are clear, we had a mother practically begging and saying that Zaya was too young to make that decision and that they should at least wait until he was old enough to understand her choice. But how did Gabrielle and Dwayne react? They essentially didn't care about the mother's perspective. In fact, Dwayne publicly fired back on Instagram, completely dismissing her claims as an unwavering attempt to drag his name through the mud and a book of lies. He was like, "While none of us are surprised by Savon's attempt to fight my child's identity, and her unwavering attempt to drag my name through the mud, I'm very disappointed that she continuously finds ways of centering herself and her needs without regard to her children. Savon has decided to pretty much be an absent parent to Zaya all on her own. I will not sit on my hands this time and allow her to make a mockery of my dedication to my family. The high road has run out of real estate. Anyway, considering Zaya's birth mother didn't want anything and she was just asking that they should wait, people said Dwayne's reaction was unnecessary regardless of whether she was a present parent or not. On the other hand, they said that if Gabrielle really cared about Savon's opinion, she would have respected that she wanted Zaya to at least turn 18 before making that choice. But Gab was all over the place encouraging Zaya's decision and embarrassing her birth mother. Well, at the end of the day, Savon was actually right, because since Zaya transitioned, she's had numerous deals including high-profile campaigns and runway appearances for Miu Miu, Tiffany & Co, and Prada, not forgetting the Disney deal that definitely made them millions of dollars. So, is it outrageous to assume that they pushed for the transition to maximize profits? You be the judge of that. You know, people have also said over the years that another reason why Dwayne allowed Zaya to transition is because he wants to live his fantasies through her. We know that Zaya initially identified as gay before she came out as trans, and upon her request, her father Dwyane Wade filed a petition with the Los Angeles County Superior Court to have her name legally changed. Well, according to Dwayne, Zaya knew that she wanted to be a girl when she was like 3 years old.
Zaya, early on, she was the one who sat down with us as a family and said, hey, I don't think I'm gay, right? I identify myself as a young lady, but she's known that for 9 years.
She's known since she was 3.
She's known since she was 3 years old. This is her life. This is no game to us. We're about protecting her heart. We're about protecting her joy. To do that, we have to support them. We see the smile on our daughter's face. We see the confidence that she's able to walk around and be herself.
Don't even get me started on how crazy that is. We are talking about an age where a toddler is still trying to figure out how to put their shoes on the right feet, still coloring on the walls, and fully believes the moon is following their car home. At 3 years old, the brain is literally functioning on pure imagination and cartoon logic. So when Dwayne goes on national television and claims that a 3-year-old had a fully realized, deeply complex understanding of gender identity, that's honestly crazy. And this is why people are convinced that he and Gabrielle put that idea in Zaya's head and enforced it. If you ask a lot of people, they will tell you that Dwayne encouraged Zaya because low-key, he just wanted to live his fantasies through her. I mean, y'all know that there have been multiple allegations about him being on the DL, and he has fueled the allegations himself, like during a 2021 interview with I Am Athlete, where he revealed that he used to wear his sister's heels and clothes when he was a kid.
I used to put on heels. I used to do all those things. I try to put on whatever my sisters wear. When all my sisters did, I try to do those things. So at first I said to myself, oh no, I did that. So I ain't just doing the things that I did. And then it kept going further and further, and then me and my wife had to look at each other and say, well...
Other than this, there have also been a few more pointers here and there about him being on the DL, like how Dwayne once posted a photo with Gabrielle, and his legs were crossed as he exposed a thigh tattoo. And he also posted a photo showing off his painted toes and a gold anklet. In addition, there was a blind item that made rounds saying that a former A-list NBA player says on road trips he used to sleep with his A-plus list teammate, who is also now retired, and that both men are married to women, and the names that came up a lot with regards to the blind items were Dwyane Wade and Chris Bosh. By the way, there have been people like Boozy who have suggested that Dwayne has always been on the DL, like when he shared a post on Twitter where he wrote, while targeting Gabrielle Union after she accused him of being on the DL, LOL, the whole world know I love women, and the world know your husband loved D. I hope you don't think blacks look at y'all like a power couple. They don't. I had refused to talk about y'all in interviews, and here you go. Go bang him with that D and wait on a script, you little white girl. And of course, there's also Jaguar Wright, who has also made some pretty wild allegations about Dwayne and Gabrielle.
They ain't doing as much, I guess, now because they're getting older. I guess it just moved over to the Wade house.
Energy transfers.
And I'm not saying that because of their trans daughter. I'm saying that because of the artist that I just spoke to not that long ago that got invited to a party at their house. Everything was cool up front till they went to the back and there was a bunch of old and young boys back there all naked in the Wade house. So I find it funny that Gabrielle's sitting there talking about Boosie. Maybe you suspicious of him because of the that's happening in your house. out of here.
You see, all these things are exactly what are making people claim that Gabrielle and Dwayne did this trans thing entirely for PR and personal narrative control. See, when you stack it all up, the fierce court battles silencing the biological mother, the high fashion modeling contracts rolling in for Zaya, and the endless internet chatter about Dwayne's own past and alleged repressed identity, it's all just giving personal gain and PR. And now, people are looking at the possibility that Zaya didn't actually choose this hyper-public runway life, but was essentially thrust into it by Gabrielle's Hollywood connections and influence. Well, if word on the street is anything to go by, Zaya is allegedly feeling stuck inside an absolute PR pressure cooker. Yes, there are no official statements, leaked receipts, or concrete pieces of evidence from Zaya showing any hint of regret, but sources are claiming that those close to her can see it. I don't know, guys. I'm sure she feels something, but I honestly don't know whether it's pride or regret, but I'd sure love to know your thoughts. Do you think Gabrielle and Dwayne pushed Zaya to a decision she wasn't ready for? Do you really think Gabrielle would have allowed Zaya to transition at such a young age if she was her birth mother? Sound off in the comment section below.